The movie's very rural in Texas in the beginning as opposed to urban, you know, which is what we've spent most of the franchise inside of. So I think it's a nice taste of something different. It's a different look, you know, with the beautiful sunsets and all that in Texas. And it starts the movie out in a nice, slow way.
It's beautiful. The light.
Michael has something that draws him to Texas. Michael feels that Texas as a state and as an image is heroic. He knew that Cade had to come from Texas. This father, this hero.
We scouted for the Cade house for months and months and months.
We combed through Texas. We went through the whole Austin area. We went through the whole Dallas area. We looked at Waxahachie. We know Paris, Texas.
We probably scouted over 200 houses to get that right.
Was furnished for a house full of children. So we basically had to strip it and start over and try to come up with character notes for Cade. He's constantly out of money. He doesn't have money to buy a lot of new furniture, but he's a guy with taste. He's constantly looking around trying to find cool parts to make things with. So we used the idea that he's a picker. He's able to pick. He's picked the coolest things in the world. So we did a lot of thrift store shopping and antique store shopping around the Austin area.
So one of the challenges with Cade's house was the fact that we wanted a relatively small house, but a giant barn to accommodate Optimus. And the two never really went together. The barn at the house was pretty small, so what we did an extension on it, and then we cut to an interior of a cotton gin in Elgin, Texas, which was a huge cavernous interior.
It was completely empty when we got here.
Everything you see in here, we brought in. Every piece, every light, everything except for the pigeons. We started about 12 weeks ago with the idea that it was a cotton barn originally. So we wanted to give a little back history. We have some old farm implements in here that could have been left over from his dad or the previous owner.
We've decided on areas that would be the blacksmith area. We've got an area with welding tools. There's a woodworking area, of course, a lounge and a gym, because we all know that Mark Wahlberg and Cade are very fit people, so they spend some time working out. And then, of course, the robotics area.
We did our robot search all over the country, actually all over the world, looking for lifestyle robots that could be the next $1 million idea for Cade.
We went through quite a long time of vetting and figuring out what Michael liked and what style he liked.
What we're really looking for is not professional robots you would find in Detroit in a factory. We're looking for something that somebody that was an enthusiast had made. Maybe a really smart enthusiast, as Cade is.
Here we go.
We really enjoyed getting to know that community. They're really wonderful people.
Delivery thing still work? My robots tend to be a little bit unusual in nature. I also build them from more common materials, let's say, and they don't have that polished commercial look to them.
What's the estimated time of arrival usually, average?
I think they liked the fact that they looked that way, that they looked homemade.
There's some sensors on it, but those are disabled for the most part, just so it does the exact same thing every time, as much as possible. He's happy to be here. Any mood wants.
Working with Michael's interesting as well. Getting the robots to work on demand for him has been challenging. But I've enjoyed the challenge.
Probably the best part of this is being able to see all of the gadgets. Also, the attention to detail is amazing.
Had a good morning this morning. We started this morning at very early, first light. We did some helicopters flying around. Cars coming up that road, that road. First we'll do the tow truck coming up. And then we'll do the Savoy vehicles coming up.
3 Suburbans come up this way. Titus, this is gonna be your car? Beautiful.
Got some really good stuff going.
Standing out here in a super hot Texas field.
It's hot.
It's hot.
Now I'm gonna do something, it's a crouching run, it's a signature acting move of mine. I call it a crun. And you'll see me, I mean, you know, Mark's in the shot too, but it's mostly all about me. Just crouching as I run in a banana fashion. And then I do a tree cower, okay? Or a trower.
Optimus Prime busted out of the garage. We blew the doors out for that.
There's gonna be a good loud pop out of the door. If you need ear protection, Props has it.
So the pole represents where Optimus probably is standing after he's on the run coming out of the barn. He won't be sitting still when you see it in the film. And so then here's the truck that gets flipped. It'll be a near miss where Optimus almost gets hit by the missile, but the truck gets hit instead.
And then he runs around out front and he starts blasting up the soldiers at this end.
3, 2, 1, go!
Well, what's going to motivate them guys flying through the air is rocket hits. We're putting in some black powder lifters. Pretty benign stuff, some topsoil, a little bit of broken up cork. When we set them off, big boom of dirt. They fly through the air. Looks great.
One missile is fired by Optimus, and it goes shooting out of the barn. And accidentally goes into the farmhouse, and the farmhouse blows up.
We had to blow up their real house, but we put a fake front facade on the porch. So we used the porch and we drywalled the whole inside of the porch, put the mortars in, and then put fake walls up where the porch posts are.
This is a real house right here, all this black wall, and it is protected so that nothing happens to it. This is the phony wall here, all deaded out, ready to go like nobody's business.
You don't want to put like one Kenny pack that shoots dust bomb like out that way.
You can do that right next to the back porch.
Yeah, so you really gets, so you...
From the back
right in the side.
It really just gives a streamer, just whoosh. Yeah?
Got it.
All right, here we go.
There was a facade here that blew out. It looked like the exterior of the house, just like that. There was a little bit of damage. Some of the inner windows blew because of the concussion. I think one of the posts needs some repair. That is an important part of supporting the house, but other than that, it went really well.
Farms are fun, but they're more fun when you're blowing them up, I think is the consensus.
Action, guys.
It's been really, really strange to be trying to keep up with Wahlberg.
Come on, run!
Because we'll run 100 yards and Michael Bay will be saying, let's go, we gotta reset.
Let's go one more time.
We've got the choppers going.
Send the helicopter.
We've got all the SUVs going. People are firing rounds. So we'll run back and Wahlberg doesn't even break a sweat.
All right, cameras ready, guys? Action, 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 action. Come on. Come on.
And I'm just trailing behind like... Wahlberg was in 2 guns, you know? He was in the shooter. I was recently at a Hardee's.
And cut. Cut it.
Well, we're in Taylor, Texas. Small town. Yeah, it's a pretty quiet town. Nothing really happens.
All right, we're rolling. Ready?
Nothing big.
You're sending warning shots above. Up. All right? Did it look good? Good. Yeah? All right, let's move.
It was 3 weeks of filming all the great, iconic little towns around Austin.
Day 12. Lovely Lockhart, Town Square.
We kind of cobbled Elgin, Taylor, and Lockhart, and we cobbled bits and pieces together to create this small town, but it had lots of alleys and squares, and I still had that small town feel, but gave us enough real estate to have this rally car chase.
4 full loads are gonna go. Blowing this. He's coming through. You all know where you're going. B-14.
had the car pipe ramp and cannon through a cotton truck.
The speed of the two cars coming down is 40 miles an hour. First cannon car is going first, then the pipe ramp car is going second.
We have an air mortar and a primer cord ring to blow the cotton up in the air to accentuate the impact as they hit.
We're in 97-degree heat up on top of the hill. Very limited vision, traveling 40 miles an hour. I hit the button at the right time. You feel the, the cannon, boom, and then you're flipping, and then you feel the impact of the ground, and you're bang. Oh, that was serious. And then someone else, I see a shadow of a bumper, bow. And I'm like, oh, there's that. And it comes to a stop, and I'm like, okay, we're good. It was absolutely as safe as you could possibly make that.
Fantastic.
We finish up here tomorrow and on to Michigan for the next 7 weeks.
That was great.